It's a miracle, ordained by heaven.
This boy is our king.
Well, by Jove.
What's the lad's name?
What? Oh, I mean Arthur.
Hail, King Arthur!
Hail, King Arthur!
Hey guys, this is the JRPG King from the present. So I'm going to edit this a little bit. It's still going to be the same opinion, but Final Fantasy 16, it's already been out, and they did put back the summon mechanic. But my problem is they took away the RPG elements and basically made it action oriented, which I still disagree with. But other than that, I still hold the same opinion about modern Final Fantasy. I'm not a fan of it. I really don't agree Square is going this route. And this is my personal opinion. You can disagree. I just ask that you be civilized about it. Alright, with that out of the way, enjoy the video. Hey guys, this is Lee, the JRPG King. So I thought I'd finally address the elephant in the room of why I feel the Final Fantasy franchise officially died for me after Final Fantasy X. So for all those who don't know, Final Fantasy, the reason it was called Final Fantasy because it was supposed to be the final project by Square Enix, and they were going to go out of business after that. The director of Final Fantasy was Hironobu, I think I'm saying that right, Sakaguchi. But anyways, yeah, Sakaguchi's the reason that Final Fantasy was actually great and had a good story. So, the first problem I have with the Final Fantasy series is when they unfortunately turned away from the idea of turn-based combat, because let's be honest, when you thought of Final Fantasy originally, you were going to dive into turn-based combat. You know, Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Anything past that, unfortunately, they dealt away from turn-based combat. I really enjoyed the action turn-based. If you don't know what action turn-based is, basically action turn-based requires you to have your action gauge fill up on the bottom of the screen. Usually it's at the bottom of the screen, and you have to wait until that's filled up to take your turn. But during that, your character is basically stuck there, and you can basically choose to, attack, defend, cast your spells, use items, etc. So you basically do what you want to do in that menu, and then it goes to the next companion you have, and then eventually goes back to the enemy. Although I want to preface this: if you're playing an action turn-based in Final Fantasy, I would suggest you not take too long in acting on the Final Fantasy, because if you don't act within a certain reasonable time frame, you will basically get a game over and you'll get your ass kicked. So, just a warning for that. So yeah, there was that problem, and then unfortunately, we get to the major thing of why I feel Final Fantasy franchise died. They took out a lot of the fucking spells that made it a staple in Final Fantasy series. Let's go down the list of what spells you can use in all the Final Fantasy games, and if I miss a spell, let me know in the comments section. I should be able to dive into all the spells. So here we go. This is just from Final Fantasy IV, by the way. By the way, I want to preface something. I'm not including thunder, blizzard, fire, or water, or fire. Or did I say water? Water, blizzard, fire, and thunder. Any of the elemental spells I'm not counting. Alright? So, how much did they take out? Sleep, Poison, aka Bio, Warp, Toad, Osmos, Drain. Well, there's Bio. Tornado, Break, Pig, Quake, Death, Flare, Meteor. Alright, that's from Final Fantasy 4, by the way. That's black magic spells. Alright, we don't need to include item. For white spells, Kir, Kira, Kiraga, Kiraja, Asuna, Raise, Life and Life 1, as you want to call it. Arise, Full Life, Life 2, Hold, Silence, Mute. Confuse, Charm, Blink, Protect, Shell, Slow, Haste, Berserk, Reflect, Dispel, Libra, which is Scan, Mini, Teleport, Sight, Float, Holy. Alright, here's Final Fantasy X. Demi, gone. Death, Drain, Osmos, Flare, Ultima. Scan, Null Blaze, Null Shock, Null Tide, Null Frost, Asuna, Life, Full Life, Haste, Hastega, Slow, Sloga, Shell, Protect, Reflect, Dispel, Regen, Holy, Auto Life. By the way, I forgot to mention they took out Arrow. Arrow is basically wind. Alright, anyways. Next thing they took out of Final Fantasy, unfortunately, Moogles. Even by Final Fantasy X, the Moogles were just stuffed animals. That's it. So no more creature Moogles walking around. Oh, no. I guess in Final Fantasy we can't have that anymore. Even though that's supposed to be a staple of every Final Fantasy game. The last thing they took out is airships. Eventually they stopped doing airships. I don't count Final Fantasy XII only for the fact simply because Final Fantasy XII was originally supposed to be a MOBA game. So I don't count or include Final Fantasy XII. And I don't count the Final Fantasy Online, so Final Fantasy 11 and 14 doesn't count. And I know someone's going to bring up, well, they put all the spells back in Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Alright, you got something there, but here's the problem with Final Fantasy Remake. It's not a complete game. You have to buy all the seasons, you have to have a PlayStation 5, and yeah, that's what you basically have to do in order to get this complete series, because Square thinks that putting a Final Fantasy game as episodic, charging you full price, and making you get a PlayStation 5 is the only way to experience Final Fantasy Remake. Fuck that. No, Square Enix, fuck you. Seriously. Oh, and remember all those Final Fantasy summons you used to summon when you had a summoner? Well, guess what? They're gone from this game. And you don't even get to control your summons. You get fucking random summons. And let's not get into the fact that besides the main three characters, the story wasn't even that great, to be honest. I'm not saying it was a terrible story. No. It's a passable story. But you can tell that the story was just not going nowhere. Especially after Final Fantasy X. And Final Fantasy series in general was just made too casualized for the mainstream audience. And it just took out the challenge of Final Fantasy. It really did. Because outside of optional content, it was just, I hate to say it, Final Fantasy, when I played Final Fantasy 15, which by the way, I got on sale. This is basically me in a nutshell after I played it. For the most part. Two more things I need to mention here. At one point, Square didn't include towns. This was unfortunately with Final Fantasy 13. I don't know about Final Fantasy 13-2 or 13-3. If anybody played those games and if they put back the towns, then that's fine. In Final Fantasy 15, they did put back the towns, which I'm thankful for. But I want to get into the next egregious thing that they did, and I very much disagree with this. Remember how hard it was and rare it was to get Elixir and Mega Elixir? Well, guess what? In Final Fantasy 15, you can buy it at the store. Why did you put a mechanic in where you bought an Elixir? Oh my gosh, Square. You don't do that. That's supposed to be a hard to get item. You're supposed to work for that item, if at best. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, you gotta be kidding me, Square. You're really gonna do that? So, really, I have no more hope for Final Fantasy in the future. You know, I heard that Final Fantasy 16, they're supposed to get some person that worked on, was it Devil May Cry or something like that? But I don't know. I just lost total faith in Square after they cater to the Western audience a lot, and they just made the combat way too piss easy, and the story wasn't even that overall fantastic either, I noticed. But hey, this is just me. This is one guy's opinion. So, anyways, this has been the JRPG King. I hope you guys understand the full in-depth analysis of why I feel Final Fantasy franchise is basically dead to me after 10. And by the way, I don't count 10-2 because Tidus was supposed to be gone. He doesn't exist. Anyways, feel free to comment and subscribe if you like. And tell me if you guys feel the same way in the comment section about Final Fantasy franchise. Am I the only one here, or are there other people that are old school mentality that they feel that the Final Fantasy franchise went downhill after 10? Anyways, video's over. Catch you guys later. Peace.